Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enemies and friends, welcome to the show that never ends. You are tuned into On the Real on the R Squared Network, where we keep you up to date on all the latest in the world of TV and movies. I'm your host, Steve Johnson, and joining me today is my brother from the same mother, Mr. Johnson.
Hello out there in TV land, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching this from.
Live. How you doing today, sir? Doing all right?
Chilling.
Glad to hear it. And the last best hope for the resistance, Mr. Woods.
What up?
How you doing today, sir?
Not bad.
We missed you last night on the Walking Dead premiere.
I know. It was intense.
Was it?
Yeah.
You can tell us all about the show?
I can't.
Okay. All right. Maybe. I see what you did there with that laugh.
Well,
Something to do with a basketball reference.
No. Listen, fun fact. Right off the bat. Fun fact. So Venom, right? Actually, maybe you guys know. Black Goop, you got it. Venom was initially supposed to be female. That was their initial idea for Venom, and the origin story was consistent on when Spider-Man was losing his spider senses or his ability to be aware of his surroundings, right? Because it was leading up to comic 300 or whatever, the 300 comic.
You're not talking about Secret Wars, right?
No. Secret Wars happened way before that. So, real quick, when Venom was conceived, or what they were tossing around as it being a female, Spider-Man was fighting somebody like on some rooftop, and a taxi driver was getting distracted by the fight, and he kills. This was their idea. He kills the wife's husband, right? And she goes into labor immediately, watching her husband splattered by this taxi, and she goes into labor and loses her mind and the baby at the same time. Goes into an institution, and her extreme hatred for Spider-Man her mind slowly comes back, and she has this extreme hatred for Spider-Man, and the symbiote has the same thing, and he seeks her out, or it seeks her out, and turns into Venom.
This was the idea before Eddie Brock?
This was the initial idea of Venom.
Who was this? Who thought of this? Todd McFarlane or somebody else?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it was a good idea. They didn't do this.
No, well,
that's a hard pass.
Yo, I'll look up the exact name of the person.
I'm gonna say, as they say today, I called up the chief. I called up the chief, and he said that ain't it.
No, when they were discussing it, they had said we can't, which that's kind of messed up in itself, but. I think the premise is messed up because she loses the baby, watches her husband. Right?
That ain't it, Chief.
That's messed up. But listen. But the real thing that was messed up during that time was that they said nobody can believe a woman can beat Spider-Man, specifically a man. That was their thoughts.
But it's not a woman; it's the symbiote.
It didn't matter. They said that they couldn't believe. And I'll tell you who's they in a moment, because I hate it when people say that. Why are you trying to get
women's lib people all, hyped up, bro?
All right, on that note, let's move
This
into
is just what... Listen, I'm going to find out who's they. I'm going to tell you who's they. No, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out who's they. As you continue.
Okay. So, Venom.
Yes.
It dropped this week.
Right.
And it outperformed all expectations.
In your face, critics.
David Michelini. David Michelini is the guy.
You came up with that idea?
$80 million.
Thanks, Todd McFarlane, for Eddie Brock.
$80 million opening weekend, $200 million worldwide weekend,
Over
$100
million.
100 off of a $100 million budget.
It's a success.
31% on Rotten Tomatoes.
F Rotten Tomatoes.
That's all the critics.
Right. No, it was them Lady Gaga fans.
Oh, that's the next story. But for now, we saw this thing. We're actually going to do a review at the end of the show. So if you stick around till the end, we'll actually talk about it. But did any of us think that the film would do this well?
Black Goop?
No, because the critics said it was a stinker.
I had no faith going into this movie before I saw it.
And it's also just from what I saw. I was just like, this shit looks hella freaking cheesy and corny.
Black Goop.
I had no faith in it. But my low expectations, when you go into something with low expectations, and then it's just, okay, you be like, okay, it was
better than you expected.
It wasn't even whack.
Shout out to MTV.
Yeah.
Except for those first 45 minutes.
First 30, 35.
That was like the worst movie I'd ever seen.
It was
and
terrible.
I almost walked out.
And you talking about in the very beginning?
But we're not talking about that right now.
Like,
we're not talking. We're just talking about the money.
It, like, oh my God, let him get the goddamn symbiote already. Like, what the F?
All right. So, speaking of that 31% Rotten Tomatoes review, although with this Lady Gaga story, this was reported by the Hollywood Reporter, so it's not like, take
it's
that
facts.
as what you will.
They hating.
Basically, on Twitter,
because I seen all the good reviews that they posted in the commercial for Venom saying how marvelous and spectacular it is, so that must be the truth.
Yeah, but...
Of course they're only going to post what people say good about it.
Any movie where they're taking like Twitter fan reactions, you know it's something up.
Right.
It don't matter though because it's the #1 movie still. And they hate it.
It is.
So your critic asks,
not only is
why is a critic is a critic? What makes this person, because they have a job to criticize me, their opinion more valid than the fan who's saying it opinion? Everybody's opinion is the same.
Here's the thing.
As long as I agree with their opinion, then it's cool.
Oh, as long as they agree with you.
But that's just how people view
That's the
things.
reveal.
Everything.
The thing is this, like, people come here to see your opinion on a thing.
I liked it. It wasn't even whack.
And like there are movies you hate that people like. So you can't say
movies though.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Venom.
You hated Blade Runner.
Because it was trash.
Right? But a lot of people liked it, including myself.
Because you don't know movies.
Couple of things that helped this Venom movie is that it was PG-13.
Well, I want to ask you. Let me ask you about that.
There was nothing else that was really out.
Let me ask you about that. Was it actually ninja marketing that they suggested it would be rated R so people would talk about it and then change it to PG-13 at the last minute so that you could get more people in the door, but you had like a year where it was in the public consciousness because, oh crap, they're making an R-rated Venom movie?
Yeah, if they were smart, they would put out the R-rated one later and make more money.
I mean, they might now.
Hell yeah. Because to see him biting off heads, if you was to see that shit, we'd be like, oh, shit.
Honestly, though, I don't know that maybe with the tone of that movie it would have worked. Like, just because it was so jokey, I don't know if it would have worked.
It would have been a strong juxtaposition to just go from jokes to just now he's biting off somebody's head.
Freddy Krueger does it.
You ever watch a Freddy Krueger movie recently?
I watch every Freddy Krueger movie when it comes out.
Yeah,
if one comes out.
You only like the first one.
I've seen all of them.
The only one that was good was the first one, and if you go back and watch the first one, it wasn't that good. If you go back and watch it,
man.
Actually, I can see how it was supposed to be a rated R movie in some of the elements, but then thankfully they toned it down.
Right. But what do you think about these Lady Gaga fans? Because Lady Gaga's in this new movie, A Star Is Born. That we're on the next topic.
Transitioning.
Yeah, we just transitioning. It's all Venom all the time.
Smooth segue.
Let's see. So, Lady Gaga fans.
Yes.
Yeah, they haters, bro.
They were basically
they try to
posting fake reviews
Venom,
on Twitter.
This is real. This is not made up.
Saying
they don't want Tom Hardy to be great.
No, they don't.
Saying that Venom wasn't good or it's not what I expected or whatever, but really they knew Lady Gaga had a movie, A Star Is Born, opening next to it. A Star Is Born also starring Bradley Cooper and Dave Chappelle.
Right, and they do their own singing.
Yes. So, but which also opened pretty... No. Dave Chappelle's just a friend of Bradley Cooper's in the movie.
Okay. Did you tell jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes?
It didn't seem like that in the trailer. The movie's not a comedy. No.
Okay, that's right.
I was busy watching Venom.
That's right, goddammit. All Venom, all the goddamn
part of that 86 million, right? 86?
That's why
for Venom
made 200 plus million.
If the actuals came in, but the estimates were 80 million, so sometimes they go up a few million from there.
They tried to hate, but Venom was great.
I like that. I think it was kind of corny that Lady Gaga fans are doing stuff like that.
Why they got to be insecure? It's Lady Gaga. It's Bradley Cooper. Dave Chappelle.
Venom.
Have you heard her music?
They ain't going nowhere. Hit them.
A lot of people like her music.
No, I mean, Venom. She plays on Insecurities.
She's very talented. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't.
When was the last time Lady Gaga had a hit?
First of all, Lady Gaga was just an American Horror Story for like 2 seasons.
Yeah, so but when was it? That's not what I asked you.
But that don't matter. She don't like what. She put out a lot of hits.
She's an icon,
when she makes a hit, you'll know about it.
Yeah,
she's that big. So
she's like Vegas.
I just think I think they didn't have to do
when
that.
You go out to pasture.
Nah. She's
Lady
not.
Gaga
She's not there yet. She's not there
from
yet.
Out to Pasture.
She's not Out to Pasture.
Cut that out.
But no,
All right.
that's like really corny that you have fans like doing stupid stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Trolls. We're gonna be talking about
want her to
trolls
be
later.
number one.
All right.
That's desperate.
Time to move on to the fun stuff. We'll come back to Venom later.
Right.
New York Comic Con 2018. We
Good
all
times.
went
Guy
there.
was there. Check my Facebook right now, and then come back to the page. But
No. Check it after the show.
this.
Check it after
No,
the
he
show.
said right now. No, he said
Don't
go.
worry. He doesn't
said
know what he's
go
talking about.
right now.
But
Okay.
if I shared it on my page, you can scroll. You on my page watching it anyway, so
Leave the
there you go.
stream.
But don't. But it's
Stop
still
the
gonna be here when
recording.
you want to watch it later. You can pause it and then come back to right where you was at.
Check it out.
Nah,
on the
we need
gram
you here
right now.
live.
Yeah.
Don't go nowhere. Okay. A lot of trailers got released during this thing.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Also, Mark Ruffalo was there giving out autographs for the small price of $180.
Yo, man, Dean Cain is over there still like charging people.
What about
Yo,
the
man.
Green Ranger?
mean,
$80
Green-
a pop
Separated.
for a
Yo,
Green
Yo,
Ranger.
he's just separated from the rest of the Rangers.
Yeah, that was kind of corny.
Yeah.
Black Ranger was up there.
Shout out to Zach.
You got to meet Ty Mac.
Yeah.
The last
for the
dragon.
third time.
Not the last dragon.
He is the last dragon.
Okay.
You was
What do
about
you
to say Enter the Dragon.
I was about to say Enter the Dragon.
The last dragon.
The last
you
dragon,
fool.
yes. You got to be. I guess I don't got the glow.
You don't got the glow.
You
I
don't
got
have
the
the
glow. I
glow.
got the proof. Check my Instagram. Check my page.
Right now. Check it out right now.
I got to meet a bunch of great independent comic creators, so that was dope.
Yes.
But why are we talking about it on this show? Because a bunch of trailers got released during Comic-Con. So first on the list is
Stranger Comics.
Stranger Comics. Well, yes, that's one of the Sebastian Jones creates the world of Asunder. But I mean the trailers
All right.
Oh,
for
okay.
the TV and movies that got released.
Right.
So New York Comic Con, we first had the Shira trailer. Did we all see this?
Shira.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it.
I think it looks way better than Thundercats. I'm just gonna put that out there.
because it
Talking about the
doesn't
new
look-
Thundercats.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, I would prefer,
I
but
mean,
maybe
it's a simpler design. It's not all roided out like the 80s. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at it.
I don't know. I think the story.
Stylistically,
I think.
it's all
I
right.
think they did a lot more with the story than what you got in the 80s because there was really no story in the 80s, right? There was.
Do you have a picture of her? In it?
Yeah, there should be. Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of think like they really
That'd be a
played
cute
up
one.
to the fantasy element.
Right.
And the animation style felt like it reminded me of what we saw in the 2011 Thundercats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
they're on an adventure. It has that like Avatar vibe, style of storytelling, not like the art style, but the style of
Talking about
storytelling.
Airbender, Avatar?
Yeah, where you're
Okay.
telling a long form story
Right.
with different characters and there's betrayals and things like that. I think they made some interesting characters out of it.
Okay.
You know, Shira, basically she's working for the enemy and doesn't realize it. The evil whatever doesn't
Some
realize
enemy.
it. Yeah. And then she gets the sword and now she's a switch-sider, so I don't know if I could really rock with her. Soon as you meet the queen, now you just giving up your sword. These other dudes
Switcheroonies.
raised you. You know, the evil empire raised you, and now all of a sudden you're not rocking with them no more. Your
Right.
best friend's like, yo, come back. And she's like, nah. like we didn't grow up together.
Right.
She's not riding for the
Gotta get
homies.
your switch.
That's literally what happened. But it feels like
Luckily, there's nobody style in here.
So does HeMan make a cameo?
no. No. But now
How, Sway?
here's my question.
He should.
Here's my question.
Like in
Would
the
you
season
have
finale.
preferred to see a He-Man cartoon series, or should they just keep that for the movies? Does Shira serve to bring He-Man back into consciousness, or if this cartoon does well, would they just move forward with a Shira movie and leave the He-Man Masters of the Universe thing
Like
behind?
a separate thing? I think so.
No, what I'm saying is, will she replace the idea? Because we know they want to make a Masters of the Universe movie series franchise.
HeMan movie is still coming, man.
So then, how much like upswing do you think this is going to get? The fanfare for Shira.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you guys. I don't know how to gauge it. I know that I want to watch it,
Right.
and it feels like a good story they're trying to tell.
Right.
But I'm just wondering if this is a success, will that put Masters of the Universe and He-Man on the back burner?
Possibly.
Like, will this basically lead to toy sales, which will lead to a movie that people can adopt
for Shira?
Yes. As opposed to they just say, look, this He-Man thing's not working out. We can't crack the script. We'll just,
stick with Shira.
We had a successful cartoon. You know what I mean?
As they continue to look for...
movie's still coming. Why not get money from it's multiverses.
All angles?
Yeah, no, you can still get the movie money.
Shira
You just
was
do it
always
with
a
Shira.
separate thing from He-Man. It was always its own thing, so it ain't stopping it. One monkey don't stop no show.
I mean, I hope so. I still want to see the movie, but I'm just saying
they were always two separate entities and two separate shows. Like the Shira shit was like more like Barbie dolls, and it was geared towards girls, and the He-Man stuff was in.
Yeah, but this one seems like it has a lot of action. I'm not saying what I'd like. I'm saying as a studio exec, you read the climate right now.
The climate
look
is
at
you're
how
looking
well
for
Wonder Woman did.
Heroines,
right?
More heroines on the screen.
Right.
And in the consciousness and in media and on, in all platforms. So I don't think that it's, I get what you're asking. And I think that it's something that they're going to go forward.
I want the He-Man movie.
Right. But I think they're going to go forward.
Studio-wise,
they're going to go more forward with Shira. If this works out well, then they're going to go forward.
So you think they holding up on the He-Man movie because they waiting for this dude, Hemsworth, to be done with, Avengers so he can come beat He-Man?
Hemsworth doesn't have to be done with Avengers to be He-Man, but can they get Hemsworth? Will he do it? The point, I guess, what I'm trying to ask
if the check is big enough, hell yeah.
Yeah, but actors don't just choose any movie. People throw Leonardo DiCaprio money all the time. He doesn't take it.
You telling me you're not seeing a He-Man movie with Thor as He-Man?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Yes.
You're not
Everybody's
listening.
going to
You're
see
not
it.
listening.
So
You're not listening.
Everybody's going to see
Let
that.
me see if I can assist with this, right? And rephrasing the question. Over or under the trolls that will come out if He-Man comes out and people start complaining, these trolls complaining that, why can't we just see Shira? Why can't she get her movie? Why can't she get her shine? Why do we have to see a masculine superhero taking over the shine right before Shira is about to do her thing?
It's a cartoon on TV, and this is a movie in the movies. Two separate things. It's just like how you can have Ninja Turtles cartoons on TV and still have Ninja Turtles movies. You have Transformers cartoons, you have Transformers movies. You have freaking Star Wars cartoon, the Clone Wars and all that stuff, and you have the movies. Right. It's separate things. One don't stop the other.
Stop the other. So you see how we say, like, listen,
you have the
show it all.
Spider-Man Enter the Multiverse, and you still have Spider-Man with the Avengers. It's like one don't stop the other.
Right, but as an executive, which I think is what Steve is alluding to.
Get money from all angles of this property. You have 150, 200 characters. It's going to be a damn Hordak movie. It's going to be a Man-at-Arms movie.
Right.
It's a multiverse.
No, but will this stymie that? Can this coexist?
My point is they've been trying to get a He-Man movie off the ground
for the last 5 years, right?
Maybe 10 to 20 years.
Right.
So since Dolph Lundgren was
since
played
he stopped,
here,
they were like, we need another one.
And they couldn't figure it out yet.
And here's the climate where superhero movies are here.
Right.
We can show that, but now we're doing Shira.
And how they could do a mocap like Beastman, and you know what I'm saying, and make them look official. Yes.
I want it. I'm just saying these studio execs might be like, you know what? We couldn't figure out how to get He-Man on the screen.
They can figure it out.
She was working.
Right.
We'll just put it out there.
They can figure it out now, man. Technology is at a point where they could do it right.
All right. So
they might have He-Man make a cameo and then get beat up.
Oh, like they did with Superman in the Supergirl series?
I don't know. Maybe.
Never. I stopped watching the show after that. Although I wasn't watching it in the first place, to be clear. And not that I have anything against Supergirl, but you don't bring
Steve
Superman.
Hates to see powerful women on screen.
Wow. Wow. No, what I'm saying is
because it threatens his masculinity.
Wow. He's trying to get me back because we really figured out that he was a Republican last night on his Walking Dead discussion about what to do for people.
Front Street.
It just got
Steve
real.
Johnson.
Wow. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you don't bring in Superman to get him effed up by Supergirl, who is, and I mean no disrespect to women, but Supergirl literally is.
You better clean it up.
No. Okay, I'm gonna clean it up.
Give him a one shot. Nah, all him. One shot.
Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up.
One shot now.
I'm telling you right now, this is gonna get worse before it gets better.
Clean it up. But one shot. Give him a one shot ASAP.
Supergirl.
Like you see the sweat
all
beating up.
On, yes, all on Steve,
like,
please.
Drink water.
Okay.
Give him
a lot of
shot.
people might not like this, right?
I'm still waiting for that one shot.
I try to play the middle of the road.
Oh, shit.
Everybody listen.
Yeah.
Supergirl is a derivative character of Superman. I'm sorry. She is, right? Now, you don't bring Superman in to get served by one of his derivative characters. I'm sorry. Now, if you had a Wonder Woman show and you said Wonder Woman beat Superman, all good. But not Supergirl. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What up, Corral?
Corral,
what up?
Thanks for joining us. All I'm saying is, all
you hear that bass in his voice?
All it is.
He said, "Yo, what up, Corral? Thanks for joining us."
You bring Superman in, and you have him go out like a chump in this universe that wouldn't have existed without him. But okay,
it's a man's world. But
it's not even about that. It's not even about a man's world. It's just about it reminds me of what they're doing with House of Cards. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're not going to talk about that right now. Moving on.
Hey,
the next trailer.
Spacey, bro.
The next trailer, Daredevil.
Steve A.M. Johnson.
Yeah.
At me.
Adam.
I'm owning this one.
All right.
Daredevil, season 3 trailer.
I like it.
Kingpin calling out Daredevil.
I like it.
Bullseye.
Yo, I'm hyped up. There we go. I'm hyped about Bullseye.
That's not played by Colin Farrell.
Did they say it was Bullseye?
I mean, the internet says
that's
so.
Bullseye. That's absolutely
the internet says, but they didn't say so.
Nah, that's
it's for
Bullseye,
you to
man.
Of course it is.
It's gotta be.
Who else could it be?
Yo, that's one of his. That's his like arch nemesis. That's
so you
his.
Think he's gonna have the tattoo on his forehead?
I hope not.
No,
that was what Kevin Smith did.
Bust him in the head.
And no disrespect to Kevin Smith, but I don't need that like tattoo of the bullseye when he carved his head, because they went with 2 iterations.
Wait, what do you mean? That's what Kevin Smith did that in the comic?
In the comics.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his idea.
Because Kevin Smith didn't direct the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Yeah. No, he did the bullseye. He did a Daredevil run.
Okay.
Fun fact: he did Daredevil run, and he exclusively made sure he wanted to contain that run for as long as he could. I forgot what happened. What was the reason why other people came into it? I don't know if it was because of they were changing over or something. I don't know what had happened there, but Kevin Smith came up with the idea of Bullseye, and not Bullseye the character, but putting the bullseye on his head. And it had 2 iterations where he carved it into his head. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but he carved it into his head. And there was another iteration where he had tattooed it into his head.
Like it was just a general tattoo. Question.
Yeah, branding, exactly.
On a scale of 1
That's his
to
Joker.
Get the F out of my face, how much better does Daredevil look than Iron Fist?
I didn't even watch Iron Fist yet, but you can't judge it.
Get the F out of my face. Iron Fist?
Yes.
Like,
anybody watch season 2 of Iron Fist yet?
No.
I refuse. It's not happening. Iron Fist literally ruined the whole good Marvel Netflix universe for me. I just completely lost interest in everything since then, except for Punisher.
Yo, but they have Typhoid Mary in there, man. That was one of my characters.
I gotta watch it.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to watch it. There's a lot of other things you can do with your life.
I gotta watch it.
Like not watch Iron Fist season 2.
I'm not gonna binge watch it, but maybe I'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes here and there.
Good luck with that, bro.
I need it for when Defenders season 2 come out.
No, you don't.
Wait, Defenders season 2 is actually coming?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's coming. They haven't made any announcements towards that.
They made Jessica Jones season 2.
No, I know they did all of that.
Yeah, but they were disgusted with. Well, not they.
By the way, Carell says the second season of Iron Fist was way better than the first one. He said it was
well, hold on.
What's
I ask him? I ask him.
I know because they had the glow, son.
What bar are we putting for way better?
But white.
I think
anything could be way better than the season 1 of Iron Fist.
Like National Geographic watching grass grow.
This is not bad. Man.
It's because the first one was so bad, but I'm gonna give the second one a chance. I believe Carell. And the trailer wasn't even whack. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. I'd be busy.
Okay, was Iron Fist? No, Luke Cage.
Supposed to be about Iron Fist.
Luke Cage came in. Okay, right. Daredevil season 3. Let's talk about that. This is how it ruined it, though.
Right.
Daredevil season 3.
Yeah, I'm hyped for it, man.
How you feel about it?
Definitely. Like I said,
Wilson Fisk is back.
Hopefully
Daredevil don't give an F no more.
Well, they have a lot of plot lines they can go with or story points rather. that they could go with from the Bullseye. There's this. You know what? Can I talk about this? There's a storyline, right, where Bullseye goes nuts, right? He loses his mind because he can't defeat Daredevil, right? And so at one point he says, like, he turns a new leaf. He gets like in the hospital off of paralysis or some shit, and he comes back and he goes, oh, you know, like, I'm ready to do what I gotta do. I'm Daredevil. He takes on the mantle of Daredevil, and Daredevil smacks him around like, dog, what are you doing? Like, you're not Daredevil. I'm Daredevil.
So they are doing that because that was in the trailer.
Oh, okay. So but there's this perfect scene where that's where it left off, where he's holding his hand, right? Like he's about to fall, and Daredevil is holding his hand, and Bullseye is screaming about, get off me, you know, I'm going to kill you to the very end. And when he pulls out this sai to try and stab Daredevil, at the same time he swings for Daredevil's hand, Daredevil lets go. And fans were like, yo, did Daredevil let him die? Because that was one of his vows. He would never let him die. He didn't want to kill him. As much as he wanted to kill him, he would never let him kill him.
This trailer looks like Daredevil does. He's in like Batman mode from BVS.
Like somebody's got to die.
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, I'd rather live as the devil than walk around as Matt Murdock anymore.
All right.
So
he tired of his freaking stupid friends like Foggy and this broad from freaking True Blood making him feel bad about what he do. Somebody got to get their hands dirty.
And he gave up the red
NYPD
suit in the
ain't
trailer.
handling this shit, bro.
Right.
He gave up the red suit. He's back in black, where he was nicer.
Yo, man.
I think his kung fu skills was nicer in season 1 than it was in season 2.
So he just wearing jeans.
I gotta see if they have a new choreographer.
Yeah.
Tight shirt and the freaking rag around his head. That's it.
Pretty much the do-rag. It's do-rag Daredevil.
Do-rag
That's
season.
the best Daredevil.
It's do-rag season.
Do-rag Daredevil is the best Daredevil.
But he's going back. He's gonna have the suit in it again. I'm waiting for him to get the double D on it.
Speaking of double D's, Harley Quinn gets a trailer.
Nice
She's
job.
not flat chested.
Nice job.
You bugging.
Well,
look, man, why are you messing up the segue? It was going well.
She got the pancake.
Poison Ivy was
just
there.
like, you know,
Poison Ivy was there. But how do we think it was only a 45-second trailer? What do we think about this thing? They pointed at Deadpool, but it seems like they're going the Deadpool route, like breaking the fourth wall and things like that.
right. Not bad.
I thought it was pretty dope.
They pointed the finger at themselves, talking about how they're brooding and
well, Batman was.
Right.
We
Good
don't
job.
have fun in Gotham.
We don't. Yeah, I like that.
So, does that seem like something you would watch?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
One more question. It's exclusive to DC All Access. So, would you pay for DC All Access to watch it?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Not at all. Nope.
I'm going to take the 30 days free of DC All Access and watch Titans and this Harley Quinn show. And
Titans is out now?
Definitely canceling it on day 29.
Is Titans out yet?
I think I've seen reviews for it, but I don't know if it's officially out. By the way, you know Titans is on Netflix. All the DC All Access stuff is all on Netflix if you're not in the U.S. So you have to pay U.S. asshole tax if you want to get DC All Access. If not, it's just on Netflix.
I'm going to just watch it illegally.
Or you could just change the zone
Trapping
in
out
Netflix.
the bandwidth.
Don't do that. We don't do that. I don't do that.
I mean, I got Netflix. But as far as this DC...
No, but you need your Netflix in a different region outside of the U.S. to get it.
To get the DC Direct?
Yeah, to get, not DC Direct, but just all the DC shows they've partnered with Netflix for outside of the U.S.
Just remember, these things are recorded.
On Netflix? Is all these shows on Netflix?
Only outside of the U.S., yes.
So how do I watch? I got to pay extra money?
No, you have to get DC All Access
you
if you
will
live
find
in America.
a way.
To trap out the
But
bandwidth.
you don't have to mention how.
Yeah, that is an off-camera discussion.
Right.
Word, bro.
No, but we
Google
do
is
it
your
all legit.
Yes.
On this
Google
side.
will let you know how.
All right, so...
Don't blame me, blame Google.
Oh, Courtney's watching us now. Courtney, what took you so long, man?
Court,
you
what
missed
up?
this action. Okay, now...
You're right about
you
that,
missed this
Corral.
under the
The
bus.
shorty from True Blood is mad annoying. All Daredevil's friends is annoying.
Yeah, no. They're definitely dragging him down. I think he needs to cut the
all
dead
of the
weight.
shows, they're stopping. I mean, to even jump back, all of their associates are stopping them from being greats. Like I need to do this, but you're telling me no, don't be great. Like somebody got to do it. Why are you mad? Because you don't have powers,
Right.
And you can't do it because you don't have the power to stop what's going on in city. Somebody got to save New York, bro.
So who's stopping Aquaman from being great?
First of all, Aquaman was dope. That trailer, I'm sorry, the new 5-minute one they released. I'm actually hyped to watch it now.
That got you hyped?
I'm hyped to watch it now. They definitely stole a lot of the tone from Black Panther.
Right.
Just put that out there.
Right.
But like you can go, you can go shot for shot. Right.
So you telling me that there's Black never Panther been any other movie where people have been fighting in arenas?
No. If you look at the camera angles they used and the shot composition, and you look at the Black Panther trailer, like go. People have done this already. Look at the first Aquaman trailer and then look at the Black Panther trailer.
It's not the same, bro. It's not the same.
It really is though. Shot for shot, they stole the trailer.
You something. It's not the same because, Black Panther was in Wakanda in Africa, and this is underwater. They had rhinos and they had freaking sharks with freaking laser beams. It's not the same, Steve.
That's
sharks
stupid.
with laser beams and rhinos.
That's the hill. That's the hill you want to die on.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Courtney says he has to go back to Columbia to watch the DC All Access.
Sounds like a trip.
Yeah. Courtney says in regards to Aquaman stealing the Black Panther trailer, he says stole is an understatement. And Carell says on that note, Iron Fist season 2 does ally his girl to get into some stuff. Some stuff. That's what I'm going with.
Mary, man.
Okay. No, but like, did the new the 5-minute Aquaman trailer, did it do anything for you to get you excited?
The king suit,
though. Get me excited.
That king suit, go for a big shot of the king suit. LeVar, let me just see that king suit.
Yeah.
Who knew that shit would translate so well? Because when you look at Aquaman, you just think of him, the orange and the green, like he looks so stupid.
Right.
But it looks so badass.
But
like Jason Momoa makes it work.
Okay.
He makes it work, bro.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like I think that this movie could do Wonder Woman numbers.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, and so my question to you is, if Aquaman is good and it performs, because we're gonna talk about James Wan a little bit later,
right?
But James Wan, I don't know that you could point to a brick that he's ever put out.
Not thus far,
right? And
not familiar with his
work. Conjuring, Fast and the Furious.
Okay. Fast and Furious is trash.
Yeah. Insidious.
I don't watch horror movies.
Okay. All right. Now, Courtney says I should calm down on those numbers. He doesn't think Aquaman's getting anywhere close to that.
Told you. Look, easy.
Venom did 80 million. So
actually,
on the table.
Wait, hold on. What's Aquaman's competition? Aquabro.
Oh, no,
everything.
No. That is the death gauntlet in that week, right?
Right.
So Alita Battle Angel had to move off of that date because they had the same date. But within the same 14-day period.
Who's getting February? Alita now, right?
Alita's getting February.
Right.
Good.
They're the only ones that was smart enough to get out of it.
After they saw the 5-minute trailer, it was like maybe we want to back up.
No. I mean, it was smart. Like, what? It doesn't even matter. Like, so within 14 days.
It's just like we ain't know what you was working with really. That other stuff was just like, but once they showed their hand, they was like, yeah, maybe they got something there.
That's true, but it's still a whole bludgeon.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up possible numbers, bro.
Within a 14-day period, you have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You have Crimes of Grindelwald.
And Sony out there just
Aquaman,
dishing it out, letting you know what's about to happen.
You have Mary Poppins coming out.
Mary Poppins,
Aquaman, and then you have Holmes and Watson.
If this movie is coming out in 2 months,
they're just gonna spring it on you.
They
don't have to. Beyonce.
Yeah, they don't.
It's just bam.
Midnight drop. Yeah, that's it.
By the way, everyone's saying it's Deadpool 2 PG-13. They haven't confirmed that yet.
We don't know what it is. We don't even know what it is.
I mean, they
maybe on the low it's a cartoon movie and freaking Donald Glover's doing it.
Not by DC's take
Deadpool
on it.
Thing. We don't even know what it is.
We don't.
And it's a surprise.
I'm actually like, here's what would be crazy.
Inception, right? Like you just thought about it, right?
What would be crazy is if like Deadpool like beats all of these other things.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. And this is a slated PG-13.
PG-13, yes.
Yeah.
So no idea what it is.
Mary Poppins is rated G.
Is it?
I ain't finna see
It
that.
might be PG.
Or PG.
Might be PG.
And what else is coming out?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That
The
is
original
Harry
PG
Potter
or
movie,
PG-13?
right?
It's PG-13.
The original Mary Poppins was rated G.
Rated G. Yeah.
Oh man, they stepping up a little more edgy for today's youth. Huh?
A little
PG?
a little edgy.
Needs some parental guidance.
Courtney
So you gotta
says
think about that
Aquaman
competition.
can
Yo,
do Justice League numbers.
The only way I'm seeing Mary Poppins, is if Rooker is playing Mary Poppins.
Oh, Michael Rooker?
Michael Rooker.
Yo, I would watch the crap out
It's
of
Mary
that.
Poppins, y'all.
It's Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yo, I watched the crap out of that movie.
And he should just walk around like he's Mary Poppins. Like,
Right.
Everybody's
With
in
a
a Mary Poppins movie, but he is wearing the
With a
the
bad
mohawk.
wig.
Yondu.
Oh, with the mohawk.
Yondu.
Oh.
Walking
He's
around
walking
Yondu.
around as Yondu,
Mary
but
Poppins,
everybody
y'all.
else is like 50s London.
Oh my god.
Great.
So what happens to that
That
scene when he has
movie
to
was
start
stupid
spinning
numbers,
around?
bro.
Do it.
Stupid numbers. It's making $1 billion the first week. That movie right there.
No, but I don't know how much Aqua Bro is gonna make compared to all of those other films that's coming out. Around
Yeah,
the same
that's
time.
I think they should move it.
Aqua Bro.
Yeah, who's gonna get mad?
Then that means they
Like,
blink. They blink.
Yo,
That they were there first.
you know what else they blinked on? Batman and Superman. People will forgive them at this point.
I don't know.
Look, Alita Battle Angel was the only smart one. I wouldn't be anywhere near that weekend. Not with all those big movies.
I don't know.
Anyways,
They should bump it up.
moving on.
What could they move? What's coming out in
Put it out in November.
Yeah, they don't want that
Oh,
smoke.
they don't want that. Nobody wants that smoke.
They don't want that smoke.
Okay.
I don't really care about Robin.
Robin Hood will be alright.
But you got
they don't want that
Jamie
smoke
Foxx
for
in there as what's his name?
D'Artagnan.
No. As
I'm so
You
D'Artagnan.
bugging. There's
Yeah,
two
I know.
different things.
Yeah, kill myself. Don't worry.
no. By the way, when I,
Musketeers.
Freaking
Musketeers.
Django.
I know.
reference.
Right, you just be like, hey, oh, is that
D'Artagnan,
Django?
motherfucker.
by the way, here's a question: what if this new? Because I think it's from the same studio, right? What if this new Robin Hood, and they probably don't want the stink of this, is in the same universe as that King Arthur movie that came out like a year or two ago?
No, it's not.
I wouldn't hate that though.
No, it's not.
It's because it's filmed in the same style and it's by the same studio. And maybe if that King Arthur movie did better, I'm just saying. No.
No.
Okay.
I wasn't even mad at that King Arthur movie, and I wanted to see part 2.
I like the movie.
I think they just advertised it wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
they didn't know what it was.
They should have showed him doing all that cool fighting stuff in the beginning.
Anyways, yeah, Taron Egerton
Right.
and Jamie Foxx. But that's not even on the list today, so we should move on. Netflix secures the rights to the Narnia franchise, and they're going to be doing TV shows and movies.
They have secured the bag. I ain't finna watch it, though.
I agree.
So between that and The Witcher and Avatar, they're playing hard into that world where Game of Thrones is no
Do
longer
you
out.
watch all these Netflix shows? Like, do you watch, like, the series of Unfortunate Events or any of that shit?
No, but here's the thing about Narnia, right?
They have 3 audiences that they're working with on these things. You know what I mean? They have that general audience. They have the kids and the kind of like teens, like young adults.
Yeah.
Right? And then they have that older audience with The Witcher. They have
Yeah.
3 audience that they can work with.
It's smart, but the
Very
other thing
smart.
about
Super
Narnia is actually not like a soft franchise,
What do
right?
you mean soft?
Like it's not like this little kid thing, right?
No, no,
like
no, no,
Narnia,
no, no.
It's actually like this. It's like a big religious allegory.
No, it's
or
religious.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Aslan is supposed to be God and all of
God,
that.
yep.
Played by Liam Neeson.
Mhm.
They should have had Morgan Freeman do the voice then.
Wow.
Maybe they can still do that.
Did Narnia come out before Barack or after?
Before,
So then,
way before.
you know.
No, but
that's
Morgan
it.
Freeman was the voice of God before Barack.
Maybe not.
Yeah, he was, and he played president
Okay.
when the world was ending.
Right. Might as well give it to him now.
Okay, but I'm actually excited to see that. So between The Witcher and between Avatar: The Last Airbender, your fantasy fix is gonna get filled
Right.
on Netflix.
Say that 3
anyway.
times fast.
Nope. Okay, so moving on. Speaking of Netflix, Netflix is doing a choose your own adventure style episode of Black Mirror that's going to come out later this year, where it's an interactive episode and you get to decide what the characters on screen do next. My question around that is this the future of television? And this is also the beauty of online services like Netflix or Prime or Hulu or this new Disney streaming service. Like, they are the only ones that can do this. You couldn't do this on your normal cable box, right?
No,
so my question
they tried to introduce something like this where you can plug in. It was I was about to say Optimum. It's not Optimum, but there was networks, or rather different stations, maybe Dish, when they tried to introduce where you can interact with your remote control, and you can press 7 and this is what happens, or press 8 for this scene. But people were like, F out of here. Yeah. See? that's exactly what was the response. That was the response. And it was on demand shows.
The idea that they're doing it with Black Mirror, that seems like the perfect place to introduce something like that.
Right.
And I'd like to see more of that. What do you think about this? Black Mirror interactive, choose your own adventure.
I mean, I told you the other day when I was watching this cartoon with Xavier that they was doing this choose your own adventure thing, and I was just like, they're probably going to start doing that with everything.
Right. But see, that was for kids where you would think it makes sense, but like for adults too now?
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be its own sub-genre.
Do that with everything, man, because it's a different experience every time you watch it. You could watch. It makes for more replay value because then you can watch it again. It's like, okay, let me try.
That's really the deal. Yeah, you know what this is? This is variant covers in comic books.
Yeah,
and that turned out real well.
Right.
Those things sell still. They still do variant covers.
Get the metallic cover. No, no
embossed.
It is going to be like
with the hologram on it.
And they're going to start, spreading that out more than likely. Where that's what I said. It's going to be its own sub thing where you can now get these episodes of shows that you could choose what the actors or characters are doing.
By the way, April says it was so good. I'm not sure what. But it was good. And shout out to April.
Right. All right.
So
this inspires, side note, the Twilight Zone reboot, which I was a big fan of.
Right.
Growing up.
And Twilight Zone, which will be produced by Jordan Peele.
Right.
From Get Out fame and Key and Peele fame.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, and they've also said that their Twilight Zone...
Produced by someone else as well.
Like Simon Kinberg.
There we go.
Of X-Men fame.
Right.
Or just Fox superhero fame.
Anything Fox, right.
Yeah, but he says a big inspiration for them is Black Mirror, which we always sort of considered Black Mirror like the new Twilight Zone.
Yes, exactly.
Just from a digital phobia standpoint. Yep. So I'm excited. Now, speaking of streaming services and taking over the world, Disney. Word has come out about Jon Favreau from famed as...
Everything.
Yes, but Iron Man. He brought Iron Man to life. Also Mowgli, and he's doing Lion King now. Not Mowgli, sorry. Jungle Book. Mowgli is this guy's thing.
Oh, the Netflix thing?
No. I'm saying Mowgli. Well, yes, that will be on Netflix. But who's the guy?
Andy Serkis?
Andy Serkis, yeah.
You.
But anyway,
you
Jon
Favreau. Put some respect on Andy Serkis' name about who's the guy.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian.
He did some work on Clone Wars.
Yes,
Favreau.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
this is a Star Wars series that's coming on.
Star Wars series on the Disney streaming service is supposed to be more adult style.
Right.
It's going to be done like a Western.
There's going to be sex scenes between Wookiees and
No. This is like a faraway planet. So basically, this is a guy.
There's going to be bestiality between
Well, how did you come to that conclusion?
It's adult themed, pansexual.
Just see, always
banging robots with Jiffy Lube.
Okay,
it's adult themed. That's what you said.
Okay.
Give him a one shot.
All right, now
that's what you said.
I can't. I just
Look,
I can't.
Look,
But the point is, Mandalorian is going to be a Western style, more adult theme. Are you excited about this? Is this the way they should go, or should they have just done a Boba Fett movie?
no, no damn Boba Fett. No. But me personally, I'm not mad at this because this is not the only live action show that's in Disney's pipeline.
Okay.
So,
Speaking
what
of
I'm
those
gonna
Marvel
put this
shows,
in,
right.
I'm gonna file this under who cares? Because I don't give a shit.
I'm going to file it under it might be better than The Last Jedi, so I'm interested. And it's Jon Favreau.
Right, so I think
They're
that
gonna
the
have
style
lightsaber
they're
battles
gonna
every
go.
show?
No,
If
I
it's
don't think
him,
there's going to be any lightsabers in this.
he's gonna
Then I
go
don't
with
care.
that Iron Man.
If there's
style
no lightsaber fights in
of
Star
a
Wars, I don't
show.
care. What are they gonna be
live
doing?
action.
Jedi mind tricks?
No, it's not about the Jedi.
What is it about?
It's about the
robots,
bounty
the
hunters.
Zords? It's about the Django and Bobo and all of
Yes.
these mother effers.
Yes.
So it's gonna
Courtney
be
says,
cool
stop
helmets?
hating on Fett, bro.
It's gonna be a cool helmets and laser guns and
Yes.
pew pew pew
Pew,
pew pew
pew,
pew 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 pew.
pew,
Yes,
finger
something
guns.
like that.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Whack.
All right.
Nah, man. Star Wars is bigger than lightsabers.
Shit
So
is trash, bro.
supposed to be. So no, this should be interesting. It's the right person behind it for this specific. As I said, it's because it's this specific storyline that he's going with, and there's going to be more, right? And it's not just this Mandalorian storyline. We're going to see
Pansexual,
other
bro.
things. I'm cool with it.
WD-40,
Wait, what if it just takes
Jiffy
place
Lube.
on that planet, whatever he's on?
No. I'm saying that since he's handling this storyline of with a Mandalorian, right, who was out there. Obviously, he has skills. He's a bounty hunter. He has a gun. He's going to be killing people and stuff like that. That's his storyline. But so that means there's still hope for a Sith or a Sith follow storyline.
We'll see
from,
what Benioff and Weiss are doing.
Benioff and Weiss,
from
exactly.
Netflix.
And there's other storylines that
Yeah, like
the
the new Rian Johnson trilogy.
Yeah. All right. Listen.
Oh, by the way, Courtney says as long as they record in 4K, he's down.
Yeah. Court ever the
So you finna
enthusiast.
pay for this Disney
I'll be
service to watch this shit?
I'm already paying. They already have my money. It's not like you really have a choice.
That's a good
Disney got
point.
mad shit though.
Death, taxes, and Disney is what it's coming down
Disney
to
got mad
these
shit.
days.
That's a good point.
All right. Moving on. So, Chaney. You guys catch that new Vice trailer? Adam McKay's new movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
that shit
think
looks
about-
awesome.
By the
I
way,
didn't even know that was Bale.
Christian Bale, Batman, putting on a fat
Because
suit.
he looks so different.
Okay,
He
Maybe he
gained
just
55
gained weight.
pounds for that movie.
he did gain some weight, but it wasn't all just weight gain. I just completely the movie looks amazing, right? And it's not just Christian Bale's casting, right? It's Steve
guy
Carell,
from,
and then
What do you think about the guy who they chose to play Bush?
oh yeah.
Ebbings, right?
No.
Missouri. What's his name?
3 Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri. I cannot remember his name, but yes,
You know what I'm
that
talking
guy.
about.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was the villain in Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Here's a side note, right? Before I even get into the movie, and it does look amazing.
I have a little
You know,
Chaney is Satan.
you would think that like, why do the what people consider traditionally good-looking people get all the roles now? Now you can't. Now if you fat, you can't even get a fat role. They're just gonna put a skinny guy in a fat suit. I think that's messed up.
gained weight for that.
They should have cast the actual fat bald guy.
No, what are you
doesn't-
talking like? You're being sarcastic now.
Just saying, man.
Well, doesn't this fall in line with that Scarlett Johansson argument of like someone who's more recognizable rather than
there's a lot of recognizable fat bald people in Hollywood.
someone just
I'm
I'm
just
random?
saying this movie looks Oscar worthy.
Oh,
from the trailer.
absolutely.
Give credit to his agent that he hooked Christian Bale up with this.
First of
role.
all, if you get Christian Bale, you take Christian Bale. I'm just saying. I'm just
No, I
saying,
mean,
Like the
like,
way
there's
they
a-
put that makeup or put the fake nose on him or whatever.
there's a
the
number
hell
of
they
factors
did.
that's going on here.
Like it doesn't, man. The way they changed up the way that he looks.
yeah.
You know,
I thought it was like William Hurt for a second when I first saw it.
I
I
could not
think-
tell that was him.
I think I'll
makeup
just
is
say
really
this
good.
and whatever, and you know, once again, this kind of falls in line for me personally. That yes, the movie I'm going to see the movie. Movie does look amazing. It's got some great actors in there,
It's
right?
gonna let you know all the secret
From
that
the
be
guy
going
who
on.
brought us The Big Short.
But once again, these films, right, out of the public consciousness, let's not forget that Chaney doesn't have a heart.
He's Satan. I said that.
No. The movie's not going to paint Chaney in a good light.
He's the Antichrist.
No, how stylistic that trailer is. It makes you like, man, Chaney, he just gets things done.
Fuck no.
You know, this level of excitement.
It made me seem like he's the puppeteer.
When I watched it.
He's the puppeteer. And
you know what he does
all of this
behind the scenes.
Bull crap is
if
going
you
on
didn't
now.
know, if you just didn't know, if you
what
had
I'm
no
saying,
idea and you watched
forget, maybe I don't. Let's say I didn't pay attention to politics, right? But I do pay attention to Adam McKay, right? I know how Adam McKay makes movies,
right?
And Oliver Stone has been called more of an apologist for that W movie. But that is not Adam McKay. I think Adam McKay is going to give you something that is fun to watch, but also let you know that this person's a monster.
Well, there's that balance. We had this conversation with...
I trust Adam McKay.
American.
That's all I'm saying.
What was it?
Which one?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah, but that's
American
different.
Made.
Yes, that's very different. That's very different. You have to look at who the writer and the director is for how they're going to paint the character.
We shall see when Vice comes out, but it's just one of those things. Let's not forget what he's done.
Him in a sympathetic light.
I think it's going to be a funny movie, but I think it's going to be like if you look at The Big Short, right?
Come from
the weight still has to be there,
right? But
and the weight and severity has to be there of what Dick Chaney is. You know what I mean?
Courtney says, never forget Dick Cheney shot his friend in the face.
Yes, man.
Yes. Courtney ain't lying. That's what I'm saying. Like
it's going to be in the movie. Watch.
It will be in the movie. All I'm saying is,
person.
if you look at what McKay did with The Big Short, he made the characters funny, but it was all, he still highlighted that it was disgusting what they were doing. Right? So we'll see. I take your point, and if it was from another director and writer, I would probably share some of the same concerns. But from Adam McKay, I don't think he's gonna try to valorize
what this guy's done.
Chaney,
right?
Or the Vice.
The Vice.
Okay, moving on. This is our final news topic of the day. Farewell to the Captain. Chris Evans tweeted about he finished filming. He wrapped on Avengers 4 and he thanked all the fans for 8 years, and it's been an amazing ride. And everyone took that as he's retiring as Captain America, son. And they're gonna kill him off in Infinity War.
I don't think so.
Or Avengers 4.
It's not happening.
See, what I think was, first of all, he didn't say that, but his contract is up, and maybe this is just negotiation. Like, it's a
possibility,
because everybody got to be looking at that Robert Downey Jr. money.
He's next up. He's like, listen, man, y'all calling it RDJ just for like his face at this point.
Yeah, they gave him $17 million to be in Homecoming, where all he was sitting in a Maserati and having Mai Tais. Like he wasn't even.
Oh, when he was in Dubai, right, for a wedding. Oh my God.
Got a suit.
Yeah.
Once.
Which means he stepped down from a ladder.
Yeah. He sent a clone suit to talk to Peter Parker.
That was it. $17 million. But the point is, I think everybody has to be looking at that money. And Chris Evans, he signed that big 6-picture deal, and so now it's time for him to get this money. Maybe they kill him in Avengers 4, but I would think that they want to have the option to bring him back. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what the original Avengers are going to serve as. They're basically going to serve as how the Hulk serves. They might not do solo movies for the original Avengers, but they'll say, hey, we'll bring Thor in here, or we'll bring Iron Man in this one, or we'll bring Captain America in that one. When you need them, you use them sparingly. You use them to almost kick off new characters. You know what I mean? Yeah. We got a lesser known character. Let's throw
Cameo,
Captain America in.
Only if Feige decides, will he die?
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. But if they want that emotional punch for the movie to stick with you, killing Captain America will do that.
I'm gonna feel it right here, like Cap is like tear.
You remember that time when Superman died and we all like
nobody gave a shit?
Oh,
okay. I'm not gonna lie. In Infinity War, like when Thanos stabbed Tony, because I knew his contract was basically up, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill him.
Like the Superman thing held no emotional weight because in the comics, you know that he comes back. And Superman doesn't die; he's invincible. So how can you feel anything? And the fact that they showed you in the end of the movie with his casket moving, and then to still act in the promotional stuff that he's not in it, and he's dead, is the dumbest shit ever.
Fun fact:
when Doomsday killed Superman in the comics, that was like a big deal.
Oh yeah, because
that was like,
they had
yo,
all
He's
wannabe
dead for a while.
Supermans after a while. Yeah.
Oh man.
By the way, speaking of comic stuff they did in the 90s, remember when they had you following a Spider-Man that wasn't really Spider-Man the whole time, and he found out that the Spider-Man you was following was a clone that whole goddamn time?
Clone Wars.
Oh, you talking about Ben?
Yeah.
Ben. What was his last name? Ben Riley. Yeah. That was one of my favorite Spider-Mans, and I got pissed off.
I was angry. That wasn't
Scarlet
my
Spider. Yeah, because he
wasn't
had a
my
hoodie.
favorite. That wasn't my favorite.
He had a hoodie.
The new costume was cool, but like
he was the coolest Spider-Man
anyway,
ever.
We're getting sidetracked.
He had a hoodie.
Captain America. Now, one last fun fact. In the Infinity Gauntlet comic, Thanos kills Iron Man by enclosing his head in a glass case that had no air, and he just suffocated to death.
Wow,
that's dope.
Yeah, there's still time.
That's cruel and that's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
Okay, now it is time for. Unless you guys have anything else to say about Cap, do you think he's really leaving?
We're going an hour.
All right. Moving on to the focal point. Now, a new study came out that found, this was reported by the Hollywood Reporter and some other, and the Washington Post.
Right.
And the Washington Post.
Reputable with air quotes.
Right.
Right.
That it turns out that much of the trolls behind The Last Jedi stoking the flames of hatred and vitriol towards like Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson and Kelly Marie Tran and all that stuff was actually Russian trolls.
Why they gotta be Russian? Why they can't just be?
No, they was literally Russian trolls.
Oh, okay.
Like the same ones that like posed as like Black Lives Matter people to organize rallies to get people riled up. Okay. See, what they knew was essentially if you want to tear at the fabric of America, right? You go two places. One is race. And so they would essentially pose as white nationalists and then pose as black activists and get a bunch of followers and get them angry, right? Because all people you have to do is tell people be angry at this person, and people just because we're all sheep, we just get angry at stuff.
Sheeple.
Right. But also they knew it was race and then entertainment, right? And what is the big thing that before everybody would get around? Star Wars. Everybody could put their differences aside before, watch a Star Wars movie and come together. And it's not because The Last Jedi was bad, because the prequels were a brick. People still got together around them. Okay. Except for Jar Jar Binks. That guy almost killed himself.
Universally hated.
But for the most part,
it would have been better if Michael Jackson was Jar Jar Binks. That's all I'm saying.
Yo.
Could Michael Jackson tell George Lucas what to do?
It would have saved that whole movie.
Listen,
but my point is, this is how
walk and do a spin and jump on his toes. It'd have been a wrap.
There is a theory out there that Jar Jar Binks was the true Sith Lord of all of this.
I've heard this. He might actually be Snoke.
It's crazy.
No, but
playing possum.
But more importantly, the thing is, I think this is the thing to pay attention to. Online fandom, people can get very like rowdy, right? And I think a lot of what these trolls have realized is that people will be mad about things, and maybe they hate their job, maybe they hate their girlfriend or their boyfriend or their wife, right?
Or their life, shit.
Right? And all they need is something to be mad at, because sometimes people don't know why they're mad. But if you say, hey, that anger I was feeling was because of a black stormtrooper, or because of an Asian resistance member.
You just need someone else to articulate it for you, and then you feel better.
And then those people, because when you feel alone, because this digital world, although it connects us, it actually makes you feel more alone. And you have a group of people, they're getting together, unfortunately, around a thing they hate. It makes you feel a sense of camaraderie, right? And I think they understood this. So a lot of the times when you see fan outrage
like
about
the hate for a mutual third party,
right? And when you see this so-called fan outrage, sometimes it's not actual fan outrage. It is just, it could be a Russian hotbot, bro. Right? That their goal is to foment division. But that's
So what's the question?
The question is, how can we pay attention to? Should we pay attention to any fan outrage?
Yes, somewhat. You have to obviously do your due diligence to dissect what fans are saying, because then we'll talk about it more in depth. But I'm glad that the Venom movie, right? Sony made a decision, whomever it was, they made a decision to get those actors in there and say, we are not going with symbiote. They squashed that quick, and that was fan outrage.
Right.
Just off of that, and that was real.
I mean, they still didn't say it right in Venom, right?
They said symbiote. They said it. They said symbiote. I did not hear symbiote, and I was just cheesing from ear to ear, like, wow.
And that was definitely ADR. Okay, by the way, we missed some comments. Courtney says that Captain America 2 and 3 shit all over Iron Man 2 and 3. That is a fact. That's like in the dictionary. Yeah. Courtney also says, I don't know what he means, isn't that how they killed Cyclops? And Courtney said,
oh, he's right about that too.
About what?
He got he did get suffocated at one point. I don't remember by who, but he did get suffocated. It was like some type of bubble that was put over his
Okay.
That's who you might be confusing, actually.
Cyclops was one that had the thing over his head. For Captain America, he got slapped and he died.
Going to table.
Oh, that was good.
Yo, all right.
That was good.
Yeah. Yo.
Okay.
Yo.
All right.
Just dropping nothing but facts today.
So
man.
how did Iron Man die in it? I could have sworn that was
No.
But that was the way Iron Man died,
corrected you. Yeah, that was Cyclops that that happened to.
All right. And then Courtney also says he doesn't care if it was Bridge Trolls. The movie sucked anyway. So I guess
reference to Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting ready to allude to, that you have to pay attention to what the fans are saying, because even though there are trolls, there is still some truth to what fans are saying. You have to be able to decipher it a little better. We can't just completely ignore it, whether it's a studio, independent, or anything. The fans is what pays the bills. The fans is what supports these things to get made. So you have to be cognizant. You just have to know that, all right,
But
you have to create better algorithms to understand.
What is the reason sometimes why, is the reason why people don't like these things sometimes really the reason why they don't like it? Like the reason people got so upset about potential Witcher casting, which was never confirmed, but everybody jumped into their corners, right? Like, did people really not like the movie for the reasons they said, or because they were told they shouldn't like it, right? Or because they had their own agenda? So, for example, Bob Chipman, I'm not going to take this quote, but I do agree with it, where he says, you have to think about what this really originates from. So basically, new Star Wars is bad really equals diversity era Star Wars is bad, which equals diversity and SJWs are bad, which equals liberals and feminisms are bad. Feminism is bad, which equals red pill and men's rights, which equals anti-globalism and nationalism, which equals Trumpism and neo-Nazi, Brexit, etc. So that's really, are they really mad about the movie, or if you follow that diagram, what it really comes down to why people get upset about these things?
It's a possibility, but in the same breath.
But you get what you see that line that's drawn there?
Right. But in the same breath, like people, like the movie just, I saw what Rian Johnson was trying to do. I saw what he was trying to do, but he wasn't that successful at it. There were some good parts about the movie, as I said. I still stand behind that the movie was, decent. It wasn't a complete failure, but hey, it happens.
Okay. Courtney says Iron Man's head was ripped off. So I guess it was Cyclops. Sorry, I guess I haven't read the comic in years.
Right.
All right. Well, I knew somebody's head got encased in glass.
In a bubble, air bubble.
All right. So, anything else about this? You want to add anything? Okay, somebody's getting antsy. He has to go. We'll just move on to the final topic of the day, which is what would you do? And LeVar, if you could throw up a spoiler alert.
Engineer over there.
Mr. Engineer, LeVar Jr. So we are gonna now. If you have not seen Venom, right? We saw it this weekend. We're gonna do a quick review. We'll try not to get into too much spoilers, but
I'm gonna spoil something, but it's not much to spoil.
I don't really know that you could. If you saw the trailer, you've seen the movie.
Not paint by numbers.
Now, Mr. Johnson, you've been silent for a little while. Tell us what you thought about the movie.
Because I don't care about Star Wars and stuff like that.
You care about trolls,
but you care about Venom.
Care about.
So
Venom.
let's
Black
do it.
Goop.
It wasn't even whack. It was a decent movie. The pacing in the first half an hour was kind of slow. But it's just like as soon as he got the Venom symbiote, it was on and cracking. All the humor worked. All these, haters talking all their nonsense don't mean shit.
31% on Rotten Tomatoes.
200+ million worldwide. So eat that. Eat that. It worked without Spider-Man. People doubted it. I doubted it when there were low expectations.
We was talking hella crap about this
throughout
movie.
the movie. It's just like this. Like when you're watching the movie, they have Pusha T singing in auto-tune.
Black Goop.
And I was just like, what is this nonsense? Holy shit. Like I felt like, what's his name?
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy. I felt like he was the worst actor in his own movie. Up until he became, Venom. Up until the
Tom Hardy also did the voice for Venom.
He did the voice for Venom. He's much better Venom than he is, Eddie Brock. When they're together, I like it. I like the symbiosis.
See what you did there. Someone said the movie reminded them of Little Shop of Horrors. And I don't disagree with that. Rick Moranis?
Yeah, I remember that.
Kind of, except for he had to feed it, but it was not attached to him. But it's kind of, yeah.
Wasn't there song numbers in there?
Yeah, well, that was a
Feed me
musical
all night long.
What if they did a real like Venom in a Little Shop of Horror style, and it was a
I think
it
we
was a
just gave an
musical?
executive to for the next
They about to do
movie,
it.
Yo, I don't know that I would hate that.
The musical, get your money. Drop the rated R version and the musical. I'm here for it. I like it. Black Goop.
So you think more pros than cons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, it was not a perfect movie. It was super paint by numbers. It was like cringy dialogue sometimes. And I was just like, oh my God. But when he was Venom, it just worked. It was funny. It was entertaining at the end of the day. And that's all that matters. If I'm entertained, then I can't be mad at it.
That's the thing. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I was laughing out loud, like wiping like tears from the corners of my eye, laughing.
We won't say what it is, but that elevator joke was probably the biggest laugh of the movie.
Right.
Now, I think that, I could see this iteration of Venom going back and forth with Peter Parker or Spider-Man with the quits and things like that. Yeah.
It would be a funny movie.
It would be hilarious, and I think it would be really fun. I think the first 30 to 40 minutes of this movie is probably one of the worst movies I've seen in over a decade.
Don't exaggerate.
No. It really was.
No, it wasn't. That's what I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Marvel needs to come in.
Don't hide behind the mic.
No,
look in the camera and tell the people this.
Yo, man, those first 30 minutes.
He says the Eddie Brock stuff is his favorite parts.
Those first 30 minutes are golden.
Lies.
No more credibility.
It's stuff made of legend, right?
Okay.
You understand his love and admiration for his girlfriend, soon to be potentially his wife. And you just get wrapped up and immersed.
She dubbed that nigga. He got dubbed.
You get wrapped up and immersed in their own relationship, and you forget completely that you're watching a Venom movie.
That's what you believe?
Yeah. What happened? Black Goop.
Okay.
Until you see the Life Foundation, right? Or you see the chick from Malaysia, or you see the zombie scene where you thought you were watching The Walking Dead.
Now, here's the thing. You're a goddamn liar. You didn't like that first 30 minutes of the movie. Stop it. Now, I think the movie works once you start to look at it like a Fast and Furious or Transformers Part 3, where you just know, you know what?
Specifically the third one?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely not. There's no saving the second one or the fourth or fifth one. But, oh, by the way, Jason says she was crushing somebody else in like 3 days.
Yeah. Yo, that's facts.
When he walked to our
like
house,
moved in and everything.
6 months later.
This is what we
That's
doing
crazy.
here.
Yeah, actually, I did.
And they didn't just
you know what?
move
I
in
did the
either.
calculation.
Nah, that
I
was 6
said,
months later.
and listen, she leveled up.
No, but 6 months later, you moving in with
But, like,
somebody?
yeah,
That's still crazy.
He's a doctor.
Dan.
You got to meet somebody. By the way, his character was also named Dan in Veep.
Yes, I know. He was the same person.
He's such a Dan.
But let me say this.
He's definitely a Dan.
I mean, I said what I liked, but what I didn't like was, like, in the movie, Riz Ahmed, Carlton Drake, he had no motivation for why he was evil. Like, why don't
None
they explain to me
whatsoever. None.
Why is he bad?
You know what?
Who was that? The guy who turned into Riot?
Yes, the dude who ran the Life Foundation.
He wanted to advance humankind. He said humans are like pathetic.
Okay, but
what's
here's
his
the thing.
motivation that
You
made him
do a
evil?
trial.
He was rich.
You do a trial on a
Rich people
rabbit.
just evil?
You do a trial on a rabbit,
Google him.
and then all of a sudden, like, okay, human trials now. What was impending? It's not like he had some sickness where it was gonna kill. Like he had a heart disease and he wanted to. That would have made sense. Maybe he has a heart disease. He needed the
symbiote.
That's what Green Goblin did in Spider-Man.
Right.
He went straight to human trials, but he tried that shit on himself. That's why he was a G, bro.
Right, because he put himself
He didn't put that shit on himself. He was there killing people when he just could have put it on himself, and then it would have worked anyway because he's an evil piece of shit.
Wait, didn't he? Yeah, didn't he put that on? Oh no.
He killed a bunch of crackheads with it.
They were homeless people. They wasn't crackheads. They were homeless people.
Well, whatever.
By the way, and today
they could have been crackheads though.
In San Francisco, they were probably heroin addicts.
Yeah.
Opiates.
They look like they were fresh from Skid Row.
That's in Cali.
Jason says he had a God complex, but I don't even think that came off as a good God complex. Like it fell flat. Like he might as well have had a mustache so he could like twiddle the mustache.
Hey man, Drake.
I don't know. Honestly, I think you could have.
I'm mad that
you could have skipped the first 30 minutes and just started it with like, yo, you
can't skip those 30 minutes. You can't skip those 30.
Why not?
You wouldn't have any context as to why.
Did you need context?
Eddie Brock, you wouldn't have context.
All I enjoyed was watching Eddie Brock talk to the suit. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't like.
Their
I
back
didn't
and forth
care
was
about.
Hilarious.
Yes, you could have just started with that.
That CG was pretty bad though.
In places, but in other places it was
separate
good.
from him and talk to him. That looked hella fake. That was the word. But when he was Venom
with the eyes bugging out.
By the way, Jason says, "Is any villain with a God complex ever interesting?"
That's a great question. What's that?
I said when he used a Snapchat filter when he went to the dude's apartment when his face.
Yeah, like come on, man.
That was crazy.
That was pretty bad. And when he looked at himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
That
if
CG
you see
was,
the still frame from that, how terrible it looks.
It was sus because they didn't put like dots on his face. They just put it after the fact.
Yeah, that was some.
But that's what happens.
After the fact.
That's what happens when you have $100 million budget. See, they didn't spend 120 or 150 or 200 like these other big movies. Like
that movie was better than BVS.
Like we're gonna put a bunch of smoke there so that we ain't gotta render it too good. When you fighting.
That movie was
gonna be big and look menacing.
Movie was better than Justice League.
It was way better.
That's not hard. Like, come on.
It was better than Wonder Woman.
But Venom, an offshoot character.
You don't think this Venom was better than Wonder Woman? You didn't enjoy it more than Wonder Woman? I know you did because you're a misogynist.
Okay, first of all, no, I didn't. Because although the last act of Wonder Woman falls apart, the first two acts of Wonder Woman are actually very good. Courtney says Todd McFarlane complained about the Venom eyes.
What, he didn't think they were big enough or what?
No, probably in that when he looked in the mirror or when he talked to the neighbor.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. That CG was bad. It wasn't
so in places.
Well, they had to really like chop up their money, right? How they were going to spend it.
I have two questions to ask you guys. Are you excited to see? Well, three questions. Are you excited to see a Venom 2?
Yes.
This movie sold you on a Venom standalone universe.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited for it.
Yes.
Now,
I'm excited for that after credit scene.
my next question.
I'm really excited for that Into the Spider-Verse movie because that after credit scene
That
was lit.
That movie needs
Spoiler
to make
alert.
$1 billion.
Because they loosely connect Spider-Man, because this is a spoiler, like slight spoiler. We ain't gonna tell you everything, but because
Give me
like,
the spoilers.
Because of the after credit scene, it loosely connects Venom with Spider-Man, and the fact that Eddie had said, I like how he got ruined in New York. How did he get ruined in New
Also,
York? We don't know that.
If you notice, they said,
but there was no mention.
In the
mention
beginning, the astronaut that came down on the crash ship, they said his name was Jameson. A callback to J. Jonah Jameson's son.
It loosely connects it,
right?
That he the one who brought it back.
Now, my next question is, where do we think this thing ends up in the box office? Like,
what about that Easter egg, though? It's my fault for cutting you off. What about that Easter egg of the Life Foundation when we saw the movie Life?
Here's what I would have...
And it was still in Malaysia, where
he landed.
Where he landed.
Now, what I would have loved to have seen is if they just said, you know what? We're not going to get into all of this girlfriend and interview stuff. Right. You just said, look, this movie picks up right where that movie Life left off. Right. You don't even have to call back Jake Gyllenhaal. You just need to show him in that shot where they open the ship, right? And then that's it. And then just say that does all your setup for what it is, and then you could have started it from there. And it seems like they were making later,
something like
that. Yeah, they were making some movies. They were making like 3 different movies there because it looked like they tried to do a little thing like It Follows, like the host jumps from one, or the alien jumps from one host to the next.
Ain't gonna know what hit on.
So if you just said that was part of it, I think you would have gave the movie a lot more credibility. The only reason they didn't do that is because Life actually tanked at the box office. Also, this is from the same writers and studio. So you could after the fact that.
Or just put it on it after the fact.
Yeah, put it on Netflix and just throw the Marvel logo on it.
Sequel to this brick life.
And that would show. It was actually a decent movie.
It was a brick though.
That would show that they were taking their time to build up this universe instead of just let's throw whatever we got at the wall DC style. But
they probably had that idea, but like you said, it was a matter of like, yo, this shit was a break.
But it was alright, man. I'm not mad at the movie. I'm looking forward to seeing a Venom verse. I'm looking forward, hopefully, to Tom Holland being in the movie.
But that means this Venom is a part of the MCU. Would you accept that?
Would you accept that, Eddie Brock?
He's not. It's not like he's interacting with them because they're in New York or wherever that he's all the way in California.
Would you accept that, Eddie Brock?
I mean, technically, he's in San Francisco, which is the same place Ant-Man is.
Okay, but Ant-Man ain't worried about him because he under house arrest, and Ant-Man just getting
not no
stuff.
more.
Ant-Man only gets into stuff that the Pym, family tells him to do.
By the way, I don't know. See, you're gonna say I'm a misogynist again, but I don't appreciate Ant-Man playing backseat in his own goddamn movie.
I'm seeing the trend.
Ant-Man,
I wasn't saying anything, but
Ant-Man on the same level as the Wasp. That's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying the Wasp.
All the cooler powers and shit.
Exactly. I'm not saying that. So Ant-Man and the Wasp is different. It's not like a Superman Supergirl thing, right? The Wasp is on the same level as Ant-Man, right? But I just want to see him not bumble around. Can he at least learn to fight?
But
you can still make Hope Van Dyne like the better fighter, but can he just learn to do something instead of klutzing around?
He's comedic
He's
relief.
supposed to be, like a genius, but he's not the genius. He's just...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
He's just a guy. He's just a guy.
He's just a schmuck who happened to get the suit because they need to use him because the real dude is old.
He's like you. He's an everyday guy.
That's just a reason to make it funny.
I get it, but you could make it funny. Thor was funny and Thor could still fight.
He's an everyday guy.
I think they need to change out Peyton Reed as the director on that and give it to maybe a Taika Waititi, maybe.
Sound like a hater.
And the next movie, just have him fighting real ill and be like, yeah, I've been doing some training.
Exactly.
That's it. Look over him. He's like, when did you learn? He's like, yeah, I've been doing some training with Kaepernick.
Yeah, I'd be totally happy with that.
That's what's gonna happen.
All right. Now, where do we think Venom ends up when it's all said and done at the box
to master
office?
Stuff in the quantum realm.
Does it do Justice League numbers or does it do Wonder Woman numbers?
No matter what it does, it already doubled its money. So there's that.
When it's all said and done, it will do.
It will do over 500 million.
What is Justice League's numbers?
647.
And what's Wonder Woman?
8 70 something.
No, Justice
I
League.
just predict over 500 million, and that's all I can.
Well, the real question is
Over 500 million?
Yeah, over 500 million is going to make over 500
Well,
million.
so right
I can't
now-
say anything past that, but anything over that, I'm right.
Since the original Ant-Man, right? Or if you just look at this new era of superhero movies,
Right.
the lowest grossing superhero movie since let's say the era of even the Dark Knight is like 500 million. Right? If you anything that came out.
Right, that Dark Knight and Beyond. It's all 500.
500 and up.
What did Justice League make first week?
First week it made 95.
It's already made 80
Well, this is still the highest,
October opening.
October opening.
And it's not even close. So my point is, where do we think it ends up? Give me a worldwide number.
Over 500 million.
So you think 500 million.
Over 500 million.
But under 600 million.
Over 500 million.
That's
he's
a
not
big
moving from
range.
anything. Yeah, he's keeping that range there so he can win.
Keeping that same energy.
Okay, where do you think it ends up at? Because the thing is, this was Comic-Con weekend. A lot of people didn't know what Venom was going to be, so they went out to see it.
Right.
With the reviews that it got,
how much of that money is from New York? If you're telling me 40
no.
million of it is from
But
New York,
Comic-Con
then that has
is
something
in
to
the
do with it.
news everywhere. It doesn't have to just be in New York.
Right.
It's all over the place. But the real point that I'm trying to make is will people go back and see it again? Because these movies don't make money
People in
unless
New York can
people
see it
go
because
on
of
multiple
Comic-Con.
viewings. So
I'ma
does
see
it
it again.
fall off a cliff next week?
Nah.
Or
because I'm
is
finna
it one
see
of those
again.
movies that will have legs and people will see multiple times?
think
I
people are gonna see
I
it.
don't think people are seeing this multiple times.
So what do you think it ends up at? And considering that the floor
In
for
order-
superhero movies is around 500 million.
In order-
And one could argue the new floor, because after Ant-Man,
Yeah.
the first one,
Yeah.
nothing's made less than 600 million.
Yeah, so it's going to make at least that.
I say 586.
Okay, so
And it's still a
just
success.
under 600.
Is that more than Justice League?
No, Justice League is 647.
No, it has to
That-
do more.
If it does say it does 580 something or whatever the hell,
Right.
it's still going to warrant a sequel because it doubled. And
No.
tripled its
It only costs
quadrupled
100
its
million,
money.
and a lot of
So
these other
that
movies
warrants a
cost
sequel.
150
That's
and
a
more.
success.
Right. All
They're
right.
just going to make the next one better.
Okay. So yeah, it's
That
gonna,
you can build from that because this is the first movie. They didn't have nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So that's a success.
nobody's
That's a
complaining
win.
about.
Nobody's
this
going to
movie.
complain about that.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so 580. I think that's a good number. I'm gonna go with 620, which is where Ant-Man is at now. So I think it will.
The
Now here's
second one?
Okay,
Right.
wait. Sorry, it did 5 million more than Ant-Man opening weekend,
Okay.
right? So maybe it could do more. And Spider-Man is still strong around the globe, so we'll see.
Quick question: what's coming out next? Do you know anything that's on the schedule coming out?
In the Venomverse,
Michael Myers is coming out, right?
Oh, Michael Myers is coming out this month. Yeah.
Anything else
For this month, I'm not sure.
So,
for this month,
yeah, I say 5 something. Yeah, I'll stick with 586.
yeah, I think it'll do between 625 and 650.
Yeah.
I think it can do Justice League numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call it 650. Now, final question, and then we can wrap this thing up. Give it a score, 1 to 10.
1 to 10, honestly.
Honestly,
Of what
and
I
remember what
enjoyed
you
it?
gave Justice League before we all had to revise our
Oh,
Justice
God.
League.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
The minimum we gave Justice League was a 7.5. Between 7.5 and 8, we all gave Justice League.
I would give this movie honestly.
And do you think the score is gonna hold up?
Nah.
Because that Justice League shit didn't hold up.
Because it's not. It's a good movie. It's not a great movie. So I would give it a 7.
7.
A 7.
Okay. 7. All right.
Because of how much I enjoyed it. It's not a perfect film by far. It's kind of, I feel like they rush in the turn of him switching from, I'm going to take over the world, I'm just going to eat people, to I'm going to be on the side of humans.
That made no sense.
That made no sense
That
at
was
all.
a hard switch.
Hard switch. The no
That's
character
something that
development
died
of the
on the
villain,
editing
and, you know
floor.
what I'm saying? But other than that, it was still entertaining. And I feel that they could build on that. Because I feel like they kind of rushed this thing out because they're trying to make money. But because of it was successful, I feel like if they take their time with the second one, I'd like to see them build on it.
So that's a 7. 7.0. By the way, Jason gives it a 6.8, which I think is a fair score.
Right.
And I think that 7 might hold up.
Yeah.
Mr. Woods, what do you give it?
I don't remember what I gave Justice League, but whatever I gave it, it deserves something way less. So I'm pretty sure I was batting for Justice League pretty hard, and that was bad. But shame on me.
I still give Venom this after seeing Avengers, Infinity War. I didn't. It's like when I saw the trailer for Infinity War, it was like I was.
You don't even need the context of Infinity War for Justice League.
Right, for Justice League or anything. I give Venom. I want to say like maybe a 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
I give it a 6, but it's it's still.
What were you expecting it to be?
What was I expecting Black Goop to be?
Yeah.
I was expecting Black Goop to be a 4.
Okay, and it ended up being a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go with a 6.75.
Right.
You just can't say normal, solid, round numbers. The F fraction.
6.75. Because I was expecting a 2. I was expecting to walk out of there angry, and I walked out of there pleasantly surprised. Like, you know what? I didn't like this thing from the first trailer. For a year, I was complaining about this movie. Yeah. And the fact that I found myself laughing. Yeah. I was like, what? Because when it was over,
I'm tempted to give it a 5.5.
When the movie was over, I was like, yo, I laughed more than I was angry. Because in the beginning of the movie, I was sitting next to my brother, and I kept elbowing him like, do you see how dumb this shit is?
Right.
Right. And then when the Venom shows up, I was like, well, oh, that's a good action scene. Oh, that's funny. Oh, this is stupid, but it's funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I just turned my brain off and stopped expecting it to be a serious movie or anything. And I was like, this is
it was
actually
like slapstick, slipping on banana peels, slipping on Black Goop.
Courtney says, what do you call it? No. Jason says that's how he felt about Solo. Solo wasn't bad, but it shouldn't have been Han Solo. Like it was all right.
Yes, Courtney, because expectations low, we were pleased.
Yes,
what he said?
Absolutely. He says, did we only like it because the expectations were low? That's absolutely
I personally, real quick, I personally liked it because all the issues that I had with seeing those trailers, with the conversation that was back and forth between the scientists and Eddie Brock and the really, really bad people and all this and that, whatever they did, they switched it around, changed it, got rid of certain phrases, edited things, and it just worked. And I was like, oh, okay. And by the time it came to the end, when he started talking about really bad people and all that, it made sense.
But you know what? I think you really have to give the credit for fixing whatever we thought this movie to be was expert editing.
Yeah.
Right? Definitely. Because the way the jokes hit is because it was edited properly.
Right.
Like that elevator joke, if you didn't time that exactly right, it just wouldn't have hit the same way. Right. And even with the fight scenes, editing in that way so it's like you know that he's eating people's heads, but they actually don't have to show it.
You know how they
but
achieve that? It's just like Tom Hardy recorded the Venom voice, and he would record both of the lines, and he would hear it in an earpiece when he was doing it. So that's how.
Like it was. He heard himself talking to himself. Gotcha.
Yeah. But the combination of audio visual timing, you have to give that to editors, and we always give shout outs to like actors and directors and writers, but I think people should pay attention to what happens.
Tom Hardy did his thing, bro.
I just say give credit to the editors. No, but Tom Hardy made it work, and I don't know if there's another actor that could have made
work,
like something so cheesy like actually work.
As ridiculous as it is, he made it work.
There you go.
All right,
I'm not mad.
So I give it a 6.75. Jason gives it a 6.8. You give it a 7. Yob, you give it a 6, almost a 6.5.
7.
No, I said 5.5.
You can't renege. No reneging.
6.
Wow. Okay. All right, folks. I think that's it. We will revisit this and see if we have to apologize for these scores, like we did for Justice League.
I stand by it.
You guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
All right, folks. Mr. Johnson,
you will be entertained.
Tell them where they can find you.
Good Vibes with a Z, a couple periods in between. You can find me on your Instagram right there. You can find me on your Facebook. You can find me on your YouTube.
All right.
I'm everywhere. You ain't never there.
And Mr. Woods, where can they find you, good sir?
Why Woods, Why Not on most social media platforms or whywoodswhynot.com.
All right. And you can find me on your favorite social media network as long as it's not Snapchat at Steve A.M. Johnson. You can also find me if you want to hear about politics and stuff on the second page. We shoot that on Tuesdays prime time. And you can find me and all these guys here next week when we do this again, as we do every Monday.
And make sure you check out every Sunday the Walking Dead show.
Yes, good. Almost forgot to say that.
After show you've ever seen.
Live questions.
We back with that. That's the flagship show. Hopefully y'all can make it sometimes or Skype in. Or
Burn. Jason.
Burn. It was his birthday. I understand. And, he got a job. Whatever.
Oh, man. Hey, John Wilburn, thank you. He says checking it out live while he's working.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. We
Hey.
respect you. Do us all a favor. Everybody's watching.
Hey.
Please share this. Tell your friends about it. We're trying to grow this thing. But I do want to give out a shout out to Jason, to Courtney, to John,
to Corral.
to Carell.
Yes.
Finna get loose.
Who else?
Jay.
There's more. Miss Baldiaki, I want to give a shout out to.
Yes.
Everybody who watched. But we appreciate all your comments and all the watch. Give us questions. We make the show about what you want to talk about.
Yes.
So on that note, we are out of here, and hugs, not drugs.
Later.
Venom. Go see it.